We're joined by parenting expert Amanda Jenner, who says, let them eat sweets, let them eat cake, let them eat it all. And Tonia Buxton, who says not allowing her son to eat sweets is about good parenting. Or where do we start? Do we start with the cake lover or the killjoy? Come on, let's start with Tonia, the killjoy. Why do you ban it for your youngster?
Because of the statistics you just said. You know, we're predestined during our caveman times to get sugar and fat and eat as much as we can whenever we find it, because that's what we had to do in caveman time for survival. We don't need to do that anymore. Cakes and sugar and sweets everywhere, and so it's my parent as a job to govern my child. They can't self-govern themselves, so that's why I have to self-govern and stop them from having sugar. And the thing is with sugar, and I know you're a much nicer, kinder parent than me, is once you have one, sugar has the same effect on the brain as cocaine. So it's a hit. So once you have one, they go crazy, they're running around there, and then they're coming down, and they want more, and another hit, and another hit. So, you know, you're better off not having any and having something that's better for you. One of my rank muffins came. One of those.
You mentioned your rank muffins. I'm in trouble with Tonia. One time, when Susanna was doing the sugar-free, I didn't realise Tonia had made the cake, and in front of Tonia, I said, this is absolutely rank. And it was so embarrassing. It was on air as well. Yeah. She's trying to convert me still. She bought this in for me for breakfast. It's courgette, cardamom and spice breakfast cake.
Spice breakfast cake?
It does sound a bit rank.
While you tuck into that, let's just sort of put some of those points to Amanda, because, of course, what Tonia's saying is it's about good parenting. That she's trying to guide her child to make sure that they don't have too much sugar or any sugar, because once they start having it, it's a slippery slope.
Well, I'm a great believer kids have got to be kids, and I think, you know, going to that birthday party and bringing out that cake, it's all about growing up, and yes, it's in moderation. I'm not saying give them, like, 20 cakes a day or anything, but you've got to give them the odd treat. Children like treats, and we all, you know, and at that, you know, I saw some things recently saying we shouldn't have cakes and sweets at a birthday party, but you know, as a kid, you look forward to that. So if you know they've got a party at the weekend, then cut the sugar out during the week.
Amanda, sorry, what about when you've got 3 parties a week? Well, what happens then? You know.
Well, OK, you give them some treat, but you don't obviously let them run away and sort of start heading for the treats. You just police it. I think as a parent, what you've got to do is just police it, and it's in moderation. But I think you've got to let them have a treat. They're kids, you know.
Is one of the problems that if you make having cake and sugar a treat, then it becomes even more desirable. If you say, oh, you're not really allowed it very often, but you're going to have this as a treat, and then if you're feeling upset, say, oh, go on, then have a treat, have a sweet. Before you know it, as the youngster grows up, having sugar and cakes as a treat becomes something different. It makes it more desirable, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does make it more desirable, but, you know, I'm a mum of 3 and my children don't have fizzy drinks still. My 11-year-old hasn't had a fizzy drink, but I do let her have treats. So, you know, OK, it's Friday today, and if she comes back from school and she's had a busy week, she's done exams, and I bring her a treat to school, but she doesn't, you know, I've taught them well, that's me as a parent, but I don't think it's bad parenting if you're giving your kids treats. I think you've just it's got to be in moderation. Yes, there's lots of parties like you're saying.
You're a really good parent and you're moderating it, but the problem we're talking about, and the type of problems we're talking about, are parents that just constantly, oh, OK then, darling, the child raises its voice, has a fit, all right, here, have it, have it, have a treat, have it. And this is where the problem, this is why we've got this problem with obesity and overweight children, because of really bad parenting. You know, as you said, you moderate it and you do a good job. It's hard to do that. I've had parents frowning at me, looking at me like I'm a witch, and I said, no, you're not having that. And they're going, oh, what's wrong with you? Let him have one.
Look at you, Tonia. You've got 4 kids.
4, yeah.
And they're from 22-year-olds, I think. 22 to 10. Down to 10. That's quite a spread.
It is quite a
spread.
So
I imagine the 22-year-old's allowed to make his own choices now.
She is allowed to make her own choices,
But the 10-year-old, does he ever look at it and think, how come she can have some cake and I can't? Because, I mean, there's certain times, and you're absolutely right, that you've got to be disciplined about it. But on someone's birthday, to take a bit of cake off them.
Listen, it all depends. You know, if it's a decent cake, but if it's some...
What's a decent cake?
Well, preferably homemade.
Courgette and spice.
No, it doesn't have to be a courgette. This is full of... It might be full of glucose, fructose sugar and trans fats and the most hideous stuff. There's not just a case of getting a sweet treat. You're actually getting poisoning the child.
Would you check then? Would you go, if there's a cake, would you say to the mum, is this homemade, what's in it?
We can normally tell if it's homemade, and yes, I would check.
You would
surely
check?
Taking that cake away from a child at a birthday party is stereotyping your child. Like, you're just basically saying you're not having that in front of all their friends.
The whole point is if they're so worried about the sugars and the cakes, they're not having a good time at parties. So that parent who's throwing the party is not doing a very good job, are they? If all they're worried about is the sweets and sugar.
One of my kids' bathroom. Is enormous. enormous. It's enormous on that parent.
Thank you very much for joining us. It's fascinating, isn't it? Because I think all of us try and be disciplined. We certainly were with our boys, and it's relaxed. We've relaxed now because they're 11 and 13. But I mean, the idea of not letting them have a bit of birthday cake, I think that's, you know, that's tough.
Yes,
That's tough, isn't it?
She is tough.